Today we're going to look at the 2022 Ford Maverick and see what kind of performance numbers you'd get out of it if you actually tuned it like a Ford Maverick ST. Have you ever thought about what a Ford Maverick ST would look like? Well, this is a new mini truck by Ford. It's going to have a hybrid powered drivetrain from the Ford Escape. If you look at the Ford Escape, it has about the same weight, and that truck gets about 43 miles per gallon city. That's amazing. Now, if you don't want that, you can get the 2-liter EcoBoost, which is about 250 horsepower, 270 torque, which the Escape also has. I find that interesting because you can actually tune that engine. You can add, Ford Performance offers a tune, Livernoise offers a tune. All these different companies offer tunes for these EcoBoost engines. And if you also know, the Ford Focus ST has the EcoBoost engine. Those people have added big turbos, made the truck a lot faster, made their Ford Focus a lot faster. I would like to do that with the Ford Maverick. I think it would be cool today to look at what would a Ford Maverick ST version look like, or if you just took the EcoBoost engine with the all-wheel drive system, because there's so much torque with that Ford EcoBoost that if you just get a front-wheel drive, I know I had a Fiesta ST, it will totally just spin the front tires. So you really need to get the all-wheel drive system. And if you are going to tune it, there's so much torque down low that they do get great gas mileage as long as you can stay out of the power band. But they put a small turbo so that it responds to your throttle inputs, gets you a lot of torque down low, and it will spin the tires. So you really need an all-wheel drive system. And then in this video right here, I'll play for you. This is a Ford Escape 2-liter EcoBoost all-wheel drive, which is essentially the same drivetrain that you can get in the Ford Maverick. Although this video was published in 2018, so I'm not sure the power specs on this exact engine. But this guy still spins the tires a little bit, going 0 to 60. This is with a little tune on it, and he is about 5.9 seconds. Now, if you look at the Ford Ranger, it's a 2.3 liter, so it has a little bit more power, but I believe the weight is a little bit more on the Ford Ranger. Nonetheless, the 0 to 60 is actually slower on a stock Ford Ranger than the Ford Maverick, but when tuned, they got as fast as a 4.9, somewhere between a 5.5 all the way down to a 4.9 0 to 60. Now, my 2015 Mustang GT Performance Pack manual transmission was rated at something like 0 to 60, somewhere around 4.5, 4.4 seconds. So a tuned Ranger with an intake and exhaust is getting 4.9. That's almost as fast as the Ford Mustang, and if you mess up your shifts on the Mustang, the Ford Ranger is actually going to outrun you. So I think it's really cool to have this Ford Maverick that is a unibody design, and what could you do? Add some performance springs to take away that body roll, then add some 18-inch type of Ford Performance wheel, maybe some roll bars, and then it's going to handle a bit more like a car. When you take the sidewall deflection off those larger size, factory steel wheels, and if you get an XLT, you don't have the steel wheels, so you'd get those 17-inch wheels. But just take the big tires off, do a low profile tire, nothing crazy. Leave a little tire on there, just lower it down just a little bit, add a tune, and see, this would probably be a fun little truck, and you can still put stuff in the back. It would look great. The one thing about the Ford Maverick that I really like is it seems like it would be a great mini truck. If you guys remember I guess it was the 80s and 90s, they started doing mini trucks where you take these trucks and lower them down to the ground. Now, I don't think that's going to come back or anything like that, but I think that the Ford Maverick, you could make an ST version of this truck and it would look amazing. There's just something about the body lines on the truck that make it look really cool as far as just lowering it down a little bit. If you look at the straight pipes video, the white with the black wheels, for some reason their intro video, the rolling shots that they got, the contrast is really high. It looks so good, that white, the bright white with the black wheels rolling down the road. It looks so good. So I'm excited about this truck. My biggest concern is, should you get the hybrid or should you get the EcoBoost? The hybrid was probably going to get 43 miles per gallon in the city, and I drive all in the city. And then the EcoBoost is probably only going to get about 20, 22 in the city at best. More like 18 probably stop or go. So really the hybrid's going to get double the gas mileage. But the problem is, with a hybrid, there's no EcoBoost. You don't have a turbocharger. We want the turbocharger, because with the turbocharger you have unlimited tuning potentials. These guys over at the Ford Focus ST forums, you can add a tune. Once you add a tune, you're increasing the boost pressure and changing the fuel and timing, and you can get a lot of horsepower. You can get almost 100 horsepower just by adding a tune on the 2.3 liter, right? So the tuning potential is amazing. Now on the hybrid, I don't know how to add more juice. You up the hybrid, that's the only thing that I know. So the problem, the thing is, it would be great if they used the hybrid system with the EcoBoost, and they called it a Ford Lightning. Now they're already doing that with the F-150, and that's a full electric model. But Ford F-150 also has this Power Boost, I believe is what they call it, which is the 3.5 liter twin turbo EcoBoost with a hybrid system. And that hybrid system only bumps up the miles per gallon just a little bit. It's mostly to use the power out of the bed. So I think that if obviously the ultimate would be able to get that 43 miles per gallon or over 40 in the city, plus have the EcoBoost potential. And while you're at it, why not just add the 2.3 liter EcoBoost engine instead of the 2 liter, right? So they could make a Ford Maverick ST Lightning or something like that, Power Boost Lightning or Power Boost ST Maverick, and that would have the 2.3 liter with the hybrid system, so you get 43 miles per gallon in the city, and it would go 0 to 60 in something probably like in the 4-second range, mid 4 seconds, with the hybrid system, plus the immediate torque of the hybrid system, plus the turbocharger kicks in. The 2.3 of the Focus RS makes something like 350 horsepower, 335 I think. So anyways, I'm just playing with ideas, but the tuning potential just for the regular EcoBoost 2 liter is in there, because in the Focus ST and in the Escape they make about the same horsepower, 250 horsepower, 270 torque. And a lot of people add just a small turbo upgrade. Now the only downside of the turbo upgrade is spooling time is usually a little bit later, so you don't get that initial torque hit, you get more of a gradual build. And from what I can see in the 0 to 60 videos, there's a delay. There's a 1 or 2 second delay on the line, because those small engines moving that big car, it hasn't spooled yet, so it's hard to get the car off the line. So you don't want to add a huge turbo to a daily driver unless you don't mind the turbo, the lag, the spool off the line. Once the car gets moving, it's fine. There's no lag. You can brake boost it off the line. Once you're rolling, you can still brake boost it from roll. But as far as just fun daily driving, just the stock turbo with the tune is going to be the most fun, because it gives you a huge amount of torque. If you look at the dyno graphs, there's a huge torque shove right at the beginning, and that was the most fun that I had driving the Fiesta ST. If you haven't driven one of those little cars, it's great. It was something like 197 horsepower to something torque, and they were underrated. And first gear, second gear, it would just spin the tires. It was in a small chassis, and that engine was just so fun. So if you haven't driven an EcoBoost, they're great little engines. They're going to get great gas mileage on the highway as well, because you're going to be out of the boost. But as soon as you tip into the throttle, that turbo spools up, and there goes all of your gas mileage. But that's also what gives you all that torque and horsepower down low. So you can easily go from 250 horsepower to 300 horsepower and have a 300 horsepower little Maverick with just a tune. That's it. Now, if you get the all-wheel drive, you don't get the FX4 package. You know, the 2-liter EcoBoost with the FX4 package, 2-liter EcoBoost with all-wheel drive. I think that would be just a cool hot rod truck with a tune, and I think that they will come out with some performance things. If not all these tuners, I mean, they already have a tune for the Escape and everything else. So a cool little city truck, mini truck. I mean, I love it. I love what Ford's doing. The technology is there to do the hybrid plus the EcoBoost. They're doing it on the F-150, and that's going to be the best of both worlds. You're going to have the high city miles per gallon, and we're still waiting for that. But the tuning potential, like I said, some of the trucks are getting 4.9 in the 5-second category. Would you, what are you going to be using your Ford Maverick for? Am I the only one that just likes to play with the idea of, putting a tune on a Ford Maverick? I think in my head, I'm thinking about building the truck and how I would do it, and I would I would like to have the EcoBoost with all-wheel drive because it would be more fun to drive, feeling the torque, of the turbo spooling up and driving it. The only complaint I have is that it does not have the manual shifters or paddles or gear selector. It's the rotary dial, so that could be a problem. But I think that you're not gonna be driving this thing wanting to shift the gears and all that stuff. It's a truck, but that's one thing I wish that they would have left on there. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section. Is that going to be a problem with the not being able to shift your own gears? Because I just see the rotary dial. I just thought about that. I just see the rotary dial. You don't have the paddle shifters on the steering wheel. Nobody really does that anyways. 99% of the time you just put it in drive and go. But let me know down in the comment section. Do you think that would be cool to have a Ford Maverick that actually runs a 5-second 0 to 60? Possibly up in the 4s. Rouse said they got their Ford Ranger to go 4.9 0 to 60 with like kind of an intake, exhaust, and tune type deal. So they could obviously do that with the Maverick as well. And I'm sure all these manufacturers will do that. And soon to come, if you want to keep up with the latest Mustang and automotive news, hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up. And let me know down in the comment section what color, trim, and hybrid or EcoBoost down in the comment. I'll see you in the next video.